Welcome. It's Kimberly Sherry, International Energy Healer, helping you lead a life of wealth without worry. Today, I'm talking about how to navigate the world of red flags and sharks. And I'm referring to this specifically in the dating world. So, one of the things so I just wanted to share, hey Sean, what I want to share is something that's on my mind. You know, sometimes I have a hard time figuring out what I want to talk about on Fridays. And this was just so big that in my space that this is what I decided to talk about. So navigating the world of sharks and red flags in the dating world. So one of the things that I noticed is that, hey Linda, is that I am, well, part of the reason I'm finishing my book is because I know that I've been using that as an excuse or a way to kind of like push love a little bit further away. And so once I came to that conclusion or realization, then I was able to find my book publisher that came in. And so I'm actively and have a deadline to finish my book by the end of next month, by the end of May. So in the process, I have also been attracting things. So I've been on a dating site called Luxy, L-U-X-Y. So it's a millionaire dating site. I'm not a millionaire, but that's where I'm working towards. And so I want a partner that has a high wealth vibration, a high wealth frequency. Thought that would be a great place to find one. And so in the process, I've met someone, and we hit it off, but it was all remotely. So he lived in Florida. And after about a week, he said that, you know, ever since I met you, my life has suddenly become very lucky. And I said, well, what do you mean? And he said, well, I've been working on this project for about a year. And when I met you, it started to move. And I thought, wow, cool. You know, he didn't really know what I did. We didn't talk a lot about what I do. I try to keep that in the background. I don't know, some people are just scared of it or whatever. But at any rate, I thought it'd be best to kind of keep what I do in the background. Hey, Jill. And so in doing that, he didn't really know what I did. So I decided to do a little energy work in the background. You know, it didn't surprise me that this could be happening because like this is what I do. So I did a little energy work, and 2 days later he told me that he brought in this huge contract. He showed me a picture of the contract. It was a $1.5 million contract that was going to be fulfilled over 25 days. And I thought, wow, cool. I'd love to manifest through you. And so I thought, wow, this could be fun. So anyway, that's how it started. And so what ended up happening is, so that the project was in Istanbul. So he went to Istanbul and came up missing his luggage, which had a computer and a laptop and a debit card. So we're talking about red flags. So there's a first red flag. Besides the fact that he said he was raised in Germany, but he did not sound German. Hey, Lynetta, we're talking about red flags and sharks in the dating world. So, you know, I'm just moving through this very consciously and aware of all the red flags that are showing up. But at the same time, I wanted to use this as an opportunity to trigger things, to kind of bump up against those places that I know I'm not going to be able to clear some of the things that I want to clear or the next steps I want to get to, unless you start moving in that direction of engaging in partnership. Because you can do a lot of things on your own, clearing, so forth. And then there's things that you're never going to get to unless you're in a partnership. So I thought this was a good way to kind of bump up against some of those things. And so it's kind of interesting that the little ride and journey, hey Kimberly, that this took me on. So we built so much rapport and trust over a very short period of time. And I thought, wow, you know, here I am helping this guy manifest, but now he's in trouble and he needs help. So I actually purchased a computer that I was going to send to him. but I also got to see how Spirit is protecting me. And the long and the short of it was that I was never able to send it to him because of the lithium battery. And then the FedEx guy said, why don't you go to Apple and see if they'll send it? So I went there and they said, no, we only do that for big corporations. But why don't you return it and then go online and then you could send it from there. So I thought, oh, perfect. That sounds like a good idea. And at the same time, Spirit had magically taken this thing out of my hands. Hey, Bess. And so now I didn't have to worry about the computer anymore. And so, all along, I was just using this as an opportunity to expand into the man that I want to bring into my life and dream about possibilities and so forth. And at the same time, seeing what was getting triggered around trust and, so forth. So the long and the short of it was, here it gets better. So because I wasn't able to, hey, Bess, I wasn't able to send him this computer, he needed money. So he couldn't access his account from Turkey. So he gave me all of his banking information to be able to transfer money from his bank to Turkey. And I thought, wow, what scammer is going to do that, right? It's going to see how much money you have in his account. He had millions. And I thought, scammer's not going to do that. Hey, Claire. And so thus the journey continued. And so I transferred the money and it worked, And so then he wanted me to transfer a bigger amount. But now it didn't work. And now the bank was freezing the account, and then they were asking for like $37 for some anti-laundering thing. It's like, I don't know about big business. I don't even know if that's true or if this was just whatever. But now he wants me, of course, now this is the big red flag. He wanted me to put money into his account, and of course I could just get it back. This was just to unlock the account. Of course I could get it back because I could see how much money he had. So it just started getting a little weirder and weirder and weirder. And then, sometimes when you're in it, this is why you need an outside person to kind of look at your stuff, someone who's neutral. I had a friend who was also able to look at a few things, and it was just quite obvious that this was a total, complete scam. And so the whole reason I'm bringing this up is because there's probably a lot of you women out there who may have been scammed, and you don't talk about it. You don't mention it because there's a lot of shame around it. Now, I've released all my shame, so I don't have any shame around this. In fact, I was just using it as a learning opportunity. But if you do have shame, then you won't get help. You won't report it. I'm sure it's an underreported thing, just like rape. A lot of people feel a lot of shame around that, like they called that in. So when you've released all of your shame, you don't have to be in hiding about something like this, and you can use it as an opportunity to learn and to grow. So that's what I've done. And there's sharks everywhere, and there's people who are trying to scam you at every turn. And so we have to really be able to tune in to our intuition, our infinite intelligence in our heart. That's what women are especially good at, really being able to go inward and feel how it feels in their body. And this has also been a really good lesson in navigating what's real and what's not, but sort of in the sense, like, how much of this did I attract because I have those energies in my field, and how much is this, just an opportunity to expand and grow into more, and to really learn the difference between, somebody who's completely trying to take advantage of you, and you're just so vulnerable and needy that you pull these kinds of energies in, and then you become victimized. So if you're not holding any victim energy, you're not going to attract the energy of being victimized. So I don't feel victimized at all. I don't feel ashamed at all. I feel much more enlightened through the experience. And that's what happens when you really know how to use your tools, use your, and trust your infinite intelligence in your heart. I think one of the funniest things that happened through all this, we're talking about red flags, because he sent me a lot of pictures, and thankfully there were no dick pictures. They were all very, professional or whatever pictures. But anyway, he sent me this one picture. He was wrapped in a flag from Turkey, which is a red flag. So I was kind of humored by that the universe was sending me a picture of this guy wrapped in a red flag. Like, how does it get any bigger than that? Anyway, I told him it was fun playing with him, and I was done with this little game. And so that's the end of that. And so next, who's next? What's next? I'm finishing the book so that then I can focus on more of bringing in partnership, and look forward to what I truly attract. I keep getting closer. So anyway, ladies, step into your ultimate power and use your tools and trust your inner knowing, and use these as an opportunity to expand into more of what you desire. So that's my inspiration for the week, and watch out for the sharks and the red flags, and I hope you have a really great weekend, a blessed weekend. It's a little cool here in Sonoma. This is where I am now, and so hopefully you'll enjoy your weekend. All right, I'll see you next Friday. And until then, keep asking my favorite question. How, I ask, does it get any better than this? And then stay in that blissful question of, I wonder. Okay, sending much love, friends. Namaste.